5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're now tuned into the 411 podcast and reading Between the Wines, powered by the Black Diamond Consultations Network. More than a podcast, this is a sanctuary for self-discovery, healing, and personal growth. Here, we explore what it means to live debt-free, not just financially, but spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally. Every episode is part of a journey across our weekly mentorship series: Spiritual Sundays, Mental Mondays, Transformational Tuesdays, Wind Down Wednesdays, Coaching Sessions Thursdays, and Financial Fridays. Each day holds space for wisdom, clarity, and real conversation. So grab your journal, pour your glass, and prepare to go beyond the surface. Because here, we don't just talk, we transform. And now, here's your guide through it all: entrepreneur, mentor, and founder of Black Diamond Consultations, Laren Gaines.
What's going on? What's going on? Welcome on in. Welcome to Reading Between the Wines. This is another episode, another Wind Down Wednesday. And I just want to say thank y'all so much for joining in. I appreciate you. Good morning to you out there, and good evening all at the same time. Good morning and good evening all at the same time. For those of you who have been rocking with us for a minute, you understand and you know exactly where I'm coming from. And I appreciate y'all for being out there. The best thing that you could possibly do to help support this movement is to like, comment, share, subscribe, tag a friend, text a friend. Basically, refer this podcast out to someone else. Share this podcast out. Share this video. Share this feed out to somebody else, because you never know when breakthroughs are going to come through. You never know what episode it's going to happen on. And my life changed in 2022, basically, from me looking up and listening to somebody else. And here we are here today. So, with that being said, let's get right on into this. I also want to let you know right off the rip that this is going to be a dry episode. So we're going to turn this into Wisdom Wednesday. But of course, I'm going to give you some wisdom around wine as well. I have something special that I want to, bring to you. So with that, let's go right ahead on and get right on into this. But before I switch gears, I want to give a very special thank you to my executive producer. I want to thank God for giving me another opportunity to come out here and continuously do what I do. And every single week, it just continuously gets better and better with the lessons, that I've learned along the way. So I want to say thank you so much. Give all of this to the Most High for making this possible. Facebook, Instagram, thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all for the love out there. YouTube, of course. Anywhere you're listening, we have so many different platforms: iHeartRadio, Deezer, Amazon Music, Spotify. I do want to say, for the people out there, if you switched over from X, hang on a minute. I'm not sure what they got going on over there, but something's going on. And the podcast has not been available for about 2 weeks, but things shall turn. But stay connected across all of my social media platforms, and you'll be able to listen to the podcast or get some information one way or the other. So let's get into this. So we are celebrating on credit tonight. Episode 13, celebrating on credit. And we're going to speak a lot about some credit and using it the right way and what it means to use it the wrong way. Song of the day: Celebration. Kool and the Gang. 1980. I was actually born when this album came out, and this is off of their Celebrate album. And since we're speaking about celebrating tonight, we're going to celebrate on credit. but we can also celebrate on some wisdom as well. So, what I want to bring tonight when it comes to celebrate is, are you just celebrating during the good times? Or can you appreciate and celebrate when things aren't going so well? Because last week going into this week, I've had some challenges, and I just sat back and I gave it to the Most High. And even though some of these challenges were not the best of the best, I could still celebrate in a moment and say, thank God for you showing me everything that I need to see about this individual. Thank God for you showing me everything I needed to see about this company. Because had I just got so caught up on celebrating during the good times when people love me so much, I wouldn't have been able to celebrate and see the storm when it was coming. So if I had got so caught up and so wrapped up about what somebody thought about me during the good times, and then when they decided to twist and do the 180 or decided to flip up and do what they want to do, if I was so hopped up on when it was so good, maybe I wouldn't have been able to accept the bad. So, what are you celebrating? Are you celebrating just the good times? Or are you able to celebrate when there are some setbacks because you know that the Most High knows better than you? And you know that, check this out, your rejection is my protection. You may not want nothing to do with me today, but trust and believe that the tables will turn. And when they do, don't come running. Don't come running. And then sometimes when you go through these setbacks, when you go through these periods of rejection, when you go through these periods where people want to go ahead and do the 180 on you, they want to do that twist and turn on you, thinking that they have the upper hand. See, I learned today to learn how to celebrate those moments because God can take care of people far way better than I can. That's what I'm talking about tonight. What are you celebrating? Are you just so good when everything is on and popping, when everything is turned up, when everything is lit? But can you celebrate and can you thank Him for stopping some of the nonsense that is headed your way? Mm. Track 13, Celebrating on Credit, Song of the Day, Celebration by Kool and the Gang, released in 1980 off of their album Celebrate. And we're going to speak about some Kool and the Gang hits, you know, when we bring in my special guest, author slash poet, Birdman 313. So it is a dry episode. I want to let you know that, but I am sipping on some fabulous tea right about now. But I'm gonna still bring y'all the wine that I need to bring. So I want to talk about the building blocks of wine because I speak about wine, we sample wine, but we don't really get into the real nitty gritty of it. So I want to get in. I want to take this moment before we get on with the show to just give you the real nitty gritty of what of wine, what we look for, what it all means. So the basic elements that make up a glass of wine, those that wine experts analyze when they're assessing the wine's quality, are sugar, acidity, tannin, and alcohol. Grape sugar is fermented into alcohol, and it gives the wine its richness and its fruitiness. The riper the grapes, the better the fruit, the sugar, and the quality. Acidity is what keeps the fruit lively on a palate, especially in a white wine. Without it, wine becomes limp and bland, while reds not only seem flabby and unexciting, but also lack the structure to age well. Tannin comes from the grape skins and the seeds and is rarely noticeable in whites, although they really are there. But it is what gives a red wine its all important structure, helping it to last and mature with age. Finally, alcohol gives a wine weight on a palate, such as a German wine with 7% alcohol will taste light, while a chunky California Zinfandel with 17% will be more than a mouthful. In a good wine, alcohol should never leave a burning sensation. So those are the building blocks of wine. So I want to say thank you all so much for joining. I appreciate you for coming in. So I could not do this without each and every one of you, week after week, year after year. And of course, I'm going to go ahead and get my cup. I don't have a glass. I'm going to get my cup of tea that I'm sampling. And for you out there, if you were sipping on your wine, I want to say thank you. Of course, we got more wine coming. My sister was earlier this week about the Reading Between the Wines tour for 2026, which of course, that is going to be on and popping. So, yeah, sometimes we just got to take a break. That's what we doing here. I'm keeping it real, letting y'all know. I just wasn't feeling it. And Jersey here is cold, like what, and I'm over it. And we possibly word again, just over it. So I got my tea, I got my pajamas, I'm ready, and we get ready to make some magic happen here tonight. Cheers. Thank y'all for coming in. I appreciate it. All right, all right. So now, yeah, let's get into this. Bring in my friend, family to the show, author slash poet, Birdman 313. What's going on? What's going on?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Going good, going good. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You talking about the challenges, man? We've been having challenges here with this internet. So if I pop off, I can pop back on. I just have to go and reset it, just to let you know.
Yeah, you know, things like that happen.
Yeah,
I had my fair share speaking and recording half of a show with the mic turned off,
yeah,
microphones not plugged in,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah. But I just thought I'd give you a heads up on that, man.
I got you. I saw you pop out and then you pop back in. I saw you. I saw you.
Oh, I did. I,
At least that's what it seemed
I thought
like.
that was you.
I hope not, because I was recording. I think this week is a challenge for most podcasters. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. I listened to a few podcasters, and
Yeah,
one of my favorite ones was a little off this week, and I'm like, what's going on? Technical difficulties and all types of stuff was going on. So,
yeah.
but we ain't wishing none of that over here. We've been having a good streak. Everything's been going great.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I seen that little message SOS left on Instagram about me saying it's 80 degrees here. She said, don't say that too loud. Laren may get jealous.
Well, listen, it's been 40. I think we hit 40. I was outside yesterday for like an hour. I finally got out, still walking and climbing over snow mountains, but I was out because
Ooh.
when it go from, but isn't that crazy though? Because when it go from negative to single digits and then it pops up to 40, you think it's
Oh
summertime.
yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I have to say, man, the day was the coolest it's been in about a week here, and it was 78.
78
Because
degrees. Mm.
Yeah, because I've been going to the park, which I'm quite sure you've been seeing the pictures I've been posting, and been going to the park and um, putting some videos together and getting ready to put some words to them, and just the same old thing that I do, man. Create.
Yeah, yeah. God made us in his image, and he is the creator. So of course that's what we are. We're creators.
Oh yeah.
He's made us to create things. Absolutely. That's good. Shout out to Miss SOS talking about the temps. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, you ready to get into our money hacks?
Oh yeah.
All right, let's get right on into it.
All right. 100.
100. All right, let's see what we
Yeah.
got with 100. 100. All right. We spoke about we on this retirement thing. We still on it, which is cool. That's good. And this is what you should do. Roll over multiple accounts into one account prior to retirement. If you've had a few jobs along the way, you might have more than an old, excuse me, if you've had a few jobs along the way, you might have more than a few old 401ks that you haven't done much with. As mentioned earlier, if any of those plans charge high fees, you should get them out ASAP and move your money into an IRA rollover account. Also, as you near retirement, it is doubly important to consolidate your multiple accounts into one account. Not only is it easier to keep track of, but also when you begin to take withdrawals in retirement, it will make it so much it will make so much sense to not have to figure out your required minimum distribution from multiple accounts all over the place. What do you think about that?
Yeah. I mean, for those who can afford that, that's not a bad thing there. I mean,
I say
everybody that retires don't be in that position. But if you can be in that position, I always tell people go ahead and take advantage of it.
absolutely. And back to what this at the beginning here, you've had a few jobs along the way. That's cool. But if you got your money spread out all over the place
Yeah.
into multiple accounts, that's a little disturbing because you shouldn't wait. This is just my personal opinion. Listen, I am not here to tell anybody what to do. I am not a financial advisor. I'm not a financial planner. I am a financial coach. And this is just through my experiences and what I've gone through and the lessons that I've learned. It is not good to have your money just spread out all over the place and you have to run down and keep track this password signing into that account, this, that, the next, the other. You wait till retirement, please. If I don't work for that job anymore, I want my money now. I'm not waiting till nothing. I'm rolling that over into a IRA as soon as possible and getting my money away from that old employer that I'm no longer in a relationship with anymore. And I'm putting it under my possession and my own IRA account. So for those of you out there listening, listen, I'm not telling you what to do, but if it was me, I'm not waiting. If I no longer work for you in 2025, trust and believe before that year ends, I've already taken that money off of your hands and putting it into my possession so I have control over my own destiny. Don't wait till retirement. Don't have it spread all out. Don't keep chasing these passwords and accounts from these old employers and just absolutely not. That's what I have to say.
That is true because that kind of like happened to me with one. I was paying into an account, and then at the end of the year, they sent me a statement. Then when I said, well, I told them I wanted to pull it out, they told me I didn't have nothing. And I'm like, you just sent me a statement. Oh, that was a mistake. And
That
and then I talked to an employee that worked there, and he said, dude, he said, man, what they did was they took your money and gave it to split it with all of us. He said, if they didn't split it with us, the ones in the front office got it,
I don't even see how that is that is illegal to the 10th power.
man. But hey, and I told him, I said,
Uh,
seriously? He said, yeah. And he said that you're not the only one. There's several people that have complained about their money. And he said, if they don't give it to us as bonuses at the end of the year, then he said what they do is in the front office, they take it and they give it to them.
Mm-mm. I don't even know what to say about that. I'm thinking again, I don't know, but I'm thinking that that money might still be there. Maybe they were just something like that. Maybe they were just, I don't know,
The
but that's
company
crazy.
them folded, been folded years
Mm,
ago. So and
mm,
I
mm, mm,
tried to
mm.
fight it. I did, man. And they told me to. They said stop calling, said because you're not getting a penny from us. So
Oh, see. But see, you know what? But just back to what I was saying with the
yeah,
celebrate. See, sometimes we gotta celebrate when things ain't going so good like that because you don't know that probably was a blessing right there to get away from that situation before you invested too much into it, before you put a whole bunch in it and was sitting there counting on it and waiting on it, and then something like this could
yeah,
happen.
yeah.
Yeah. Mm. Ah, it's
Oh
interesting.
yeah,
That's why entrepreneurship sounds so sweet to me today.
yeah.
Cause some of these jobs, man, but I'm not even gonna stay on that. I'm gonna get off that for a
Yeah.
minute. Uh all right, so it's gonna be interesting as we get into this tonight. We are headed all the way to Bmore, Baltimore, Maryland. We have Miss Monique. We helping out Miss Monique tonight. And let me make sure that I got you back up here. I think you just dropped off, but I see you back in here now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So we headed to Baltimore, and we're gonna get right into tonight's assignment. Monique says, Laren, I love celebrating people. Birthdays, graduations, promotions. I'm the one who plans the dinners, buy the thoughtful gifts, make sure everyone feels special. It's how I show love. But I looked at my credit card statement last week and it hits me. Half of my balance is celebrations. Flights I couldn't really afford, group dinners where I covered more than my share because I didn't want to be that person, gifts that felt meaningful in the moment, but now feel heavy. I don't regret loving people, but I do regret not loving my future self the same way. Nobody asked me to do as much as I do. That's the truth. I put the pressure on myself because I want to be generous. I want to be remembered as someone who shows up. But now I'm trying to pay down debt created by moments that lasted a few hours. I don't want to become that person who stops celebrating. I just want to keep celebrating with money. Excuse me. I don't want to become the person who stops celebrating. I just don't want to keep celebrating with money I don't have. How do you keep your generosity without turning it into a financial setback? What do you have for Miss Monique?
Oh man, this you know, I, personally, I thought about this, and I'm like, you said you love doing this, but now you're gonna complain. Did nobody ask you to do it? So what is the complaint really?
Oh,
Because
you
nobody asked you to, and it seems like you're trying to me, that you're trying to buy friendship and love. And people either they gonna love you whether you do this or not.
or hate you, whether you do it.
Exactly. And I've had friends that has you know been like this. They always want to be the life of the party, as they say. They wants to show everybody that they're doing well, that they can do all of this and that, and then they're miserable because when they get this, like she said, when she get her statement, it's money that you don't spend, and then you think about what you gonna have for the future, and this is on her. Can nobody tell her, because she wasn't forced. That's how I look at it. I could be wrong, but she even said no. Nobody asked her to do it. So why is she complaining about it?
Mm, mm, mm,
That's,
mm.
I mean, it's really not much to say about it because she's doing this to herself.
If you,
And
you started off with an attitude. You said, "Ain't nobody tell you to do
yo,
it."
no, it's just that okay, I guess if you want to look at it like that, but it's just the fact that nobody told her to do it. She's doing this on her own. She wants everybody, and I don't know if you had it in your family like you have like a big mama, and everybody go to her
Hmm.
house for dinner and
Hmm.
like that. And when she gets sick, who gonna come and help her? You know,
Everybody that she was cooking for should be helping her.
Right, exactly. I didn't grow up with Big Mama because my parents we was living in Michigan. My grandparents were living down here in Texas. But when we came down here, my we didn't look for our grandmother to well she was older and she was sick, and we no one looked for her to do things like that. I'm just trying to give an example of everybody have that one person in the neighborhood where or you have this one guy who want to be Santa Claus 24/7 365 days, but then he
This
gets
is
back and he
nuts.
complain about, if somebody treat him wrong. Oh man, I treated this person, I did this, did that, and this is how you do me. Well, really nobody asks you that. Asks you to do all of it.
Mm, hmm. Hmm.
And
Yeah,
she's the example that she's putting out there, she gotta look in the mirror and she gotta say to herself, well, I did this to myself. Nobody really did this to me.
that's a good point. Anything that happens to us in life, and I know it, we may not all understand it and may not make sense today, but one day maybe you'll get to a point where you understand that everything that we experience in our lifetime, majority of the time we've done it to ourselves.
Exactly.
So this we have family members that act like this in this letter. We have friends that act like this, such as what you said,
Yeah.
Birdman. We have people on our jobs that act like this. Um, you love celebrating people,
Right.
birthdays, graduations, and promotions. Okay, you love celebrating it so much. You're the one who plans dinners, buys thoughtful gifts, and makes sure that everyone feels special. That's how you show love, huh? Nowhere do I see any in the beginning of this that you take time to show love to yourself.
Exactly.
You too busy people pleasing and doing things for others that you haven't taken the time out to show love for yourself, because if you did, you would understand and see that there's something wrong here. Especially when you're buying stuff with money that you don't have. Credit cards, just swiping up. Half of the balance is on celebrations. Flights, it's gotten to the point where you're putting people on planes and you know that you can't afford it. That's game over.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, no. Mm-mm. Now you've gotten to the flights, group dinners where you cover more than your fair share because you didn't want to be that person. What person? What person that actually paid for what they were supposed to pay for? I don't understand this here. I don't get
I
it.
know it. And like I said, I have a friend now. I know when my son Michael hear this, he's gonna say, "Oh, I know the guy you talking about. He was like that. Used to go around his house, and he was, big baller. He had everything. You can go over there. You didn't have to buy no beer. He had it. You had to buy no liquor. He had it. You ain't had to buy no smoke because he had it. And he had his vehicle, his wife had her vehicle, his son had his. But now, you know what? He's living in a transitional home because guess what? His kids left him, his wife left him, and all his friends don't want to be around him now. And so, and it's one of our friends. We got a couple friends that I see every once in a while, and I'll ask them about him, and they'll say, "Hey, man," they say, "Hey, he living in transitional, and he walking," and I'm like, "Walking?" They say, "Yeah," and he don't have no teeth, and I'm like, "Wow, man!" And for a minute, yes, he was on top,
When the money
and
goes,
now
there goes.
yeah, yeah, and then you look at it, you look at the money you spend, and you say, "Man, all this money I spent on this, and that, I really didn't have to, and why did I?"
Right. When the money goes, there goes your friends. When the money
Exactly.
goes, there goes your bins.
Yes.
It's just
Yes.
reality.
Yeah. And I will say this: I do have one son that's like that. And now he don't come around, and I don't invite him around.
So sometimes when people get
you
like this,
know.
like even Monique saying, "How do you keep your generosity without turning it into a financial setback?" And
Yeah.
like you said, you spoke about your son. Sometimes the only thing that you can do is pray for people, and because you can't really tell them one way or the other because they may not receive it or take it the right way. So in this
Right.
situation, when Monique is clearly know that she couldn't afford things, plane tickets, dinners, this, that, the next, the other, and still have the I want to say nerve, but I'm gonna take that back. I ain't gonna be so harsh, but still have it to ask, how do you keep your generosity? Oh, so my point is, oh, you still haven't learned your lesson yet? With all of these things that we
Exactly.
have going on, you still haven't learned it yet. So the only thing that I can do is pray for somebody like Monique and some of us out there who are listening, where we have family members, we have friends, we have people on our jobs that clearly are doing too much, doing the most, and can't even see past go and their consumer debt when it comes to this. Only thing you can do is just pray for them, because they're going to have to hit their own financial rock bottom to where they won't even have to ask questions of how do you keep your generosity. There's other things that you can do to show generosity without digging in your pockets.
Exactly.
Wow, I'm over this right now. I don't even know what to say about it.
That's funny, man, because when I looked at this, and normally when I look at these things, I look at them, and I look at them 3 or 4 times, and immediately after I read it the first time, and I'm like, the decision is really up to her, not nobody else. And it's like I said, man, is she looking for love, or she feel like she has to be that top person so everybody can look up to her? And then the first time one of them youngsters say something bad to her, she gonna get upset and tell me, "Oh, all this stuff I did for you." And
And then
that seems to be the I've heard this, man. I did all of this for you, and this how you gonna talk to me?
listen, I used to be that person. So I know, I know, I used to be that person that would throw it back up into somebody's face about all of the things that I've done for them. And this is, and listen, that's not a good place to be in, because when you do something for somebody, you have to do it from the heart, expecting nothing in return. And what I've learned out of my own situation, because the shoe ended up being on the other foot, later on down the road, once I sobered up, because
Yeah,
you do reap what you sow.
yeah,
So I had to be on the other end of it, where people would actually do stuff for me and then turn around and do the 180 on me. But
yeah.
all gifts are not good gifts. You got to be very careful with who you take from.
Yeah. You know, it's funny you said that because there was a time when I would go visit my sons in San Antonio, and we'll go out to restaurants and eat. And one day, my son Michael, he said, "Dad," he said, "we don't have to go to a restaurant." He said, "Man, let's just go up here to the grocery store and get this and go to the house and cook it." And then my youngest son said, "Yeah, Pops, we don't have to do this every time you come here, go to a restaurant." And I'm like, okay, then I said, well, I said, when we were small, I wasn't able to take y'all to nice restaurants like that. They said, hey, you did what you could do with what you had.
Mm-hmm.
And now when I go there, they cook it. They cook it for me. Go, hey man, go sit down, man. Go sit down and watch TV. you
No,
know,
that's good. That's
or
good.
go. He said, go put your earplugs in and listen to some music. Just go sit down. And that's how they do. And they will cook. And well, cause Mike stayed with his mom because he helping her out. And and so like he said, yeah, you and mom did enough for us. It's time for us to do for y'all.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah. So, and I appreciate that, and now both of them can cook. I mean, Michael surprised me because he been cooking so much, and it surprised me. But like I said, he's taking care of his mom where she don't have to cook all the time. And I
That's
told him, hey man, I said, you know what, dude? I mean, I said, and I always tell him, regardless, one is going one way, one go the other way. But I tell him, I say, hey man, I'm proud of both of y'all because y'all done stepped up, and you do what you can for her. And I mean, they do what they can for me when I'm there.
right, right.
You know,
That's what's up.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, like I said, when I mean, she's worried about if she don't do this and what people gonna say. And she don't realize people's talking about her right now for the very ones that she's doing for. They talking about her right now because when they see her coming, you know what they're saying? Man, hey man, put your money up. She getting ready to pay for everything.
Mm.
You
That's
know,
crazy and that's so profound that you just brought that up because in 2020, when things started to break down around me, I was in an environment where I saw people do that to their so-called friend. This woman was
yeah,
so generous buying food. She was buying pizza at the moment. And I heard people that's supposed to be her best friend, sister, say, oh no, put your money up because so and so getting ready to pay. I said,
yeah,
oh wow. I said, I can't believe y'all. First of all, you said it in front of me. That's but I was like, wow. So if you this supposed to be, your home girl, your ace, and this is how you treating her, and you only know me for a couple years. I can imagine what you would say when you see me coming. I was like, oh, now I know I got to get from around these people.
yeah. And I mean, I've seen people, like we be, how it is, hanging out up at the store, but we wouldn't hang out in the front. We'll go on the side where, when distract, customers away from the store. And we always had one person. They say, "Oh yeah, man," said we getting ready to get drunk tonight, man, and we ain't got to spend a penny. Just like, and
Mm,
hey man, oh yeah, hey man, you want a drink? You want a drink? You want? Yep.
mm,
And even you didn't even have to say nothing. He was like, "Oh man," he'll count how many people out there going there and back out there. Everybody, he said, "Oh man, oh you need another one?" And I looked at him one day and I'm like, you know what? I don't even know this guy that well, and I feel like I'm using them.
wow. At
And
least you.
I just thought, and whenever I seen them guys, hey man, he said, "Hey man, you don't hang out with us that much no more." I said, "Man, I got things to do, man."
Right, right. Get away from that situation real
Yeah,
quick.
yeah,
Wow.
because eventually that person is gonna snap and gonna realize, hey man, all these people just hanging around with me, but cool, what I can do for them. And my dad used to always tell me. I mean, that's what I learned there growing up. He said, "You got people. that will hang out with you just because you can do things for them.
Mm,
And he said they won't lift a finger for you when you need it.
exactly. Yep. Well, I think we gave Miss Monique enough for tonight. I don't know.
Yeah,
Again, Monique, you're gonna have to figure this out on your own. You got to go through your own financial, you know, rock bottom in order to start to think different. Stay in it long enough. Sure,
yeah,
that's the only thing I have to say. I'm starting to say that this year. You know what? Let me not force nothing. Let me not say anything. Stay in it long enough. You'll want to get out. And when you're ready to get out, if you stayed in there long enough, you won't want to go back.
exactly.
Mm. All right. So, anybody out there listening, if you want to chime in, maybe you saw something different from me and Birdman. Maybe you think differently. Hey, we all different. Chime in, drop it in the comments. Let us know what you think about it. And you can also DM, you can text 609 200 1098 as well. Let us know how you feel about tonight's segment. And Birdman, what you got going on in your world this week?
Oh, really? MSC Saturday. It's called APS, Austin Poetry Society. Have a reading. It's on Zoom. Be doing that, and then Sunday, perform. That's in Austin. Performance poets out of Florida, well, West Palm Beach, Florida, have a reading. I'm gonna do that, and I don't know. There's a reading that's up in New York that I go to a lot. I may go to that reading instead of what the one performance, but they're at the same time. So I normally have to choose which one I'm gonna go to.
Oh, so this one in New York is going to be virtual?
Yeah, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Flying out here to New York.
Oh no, I ain't got that. Oh no, I ain't got no flight money no more. No, no, man. Yeah, no, no. It's on. All of it's on Zoom.
Okay.
So I'll know by tomorrow which one I'm gonna go to. I kind of I like both of them, but I kind of like the one in New York a little bit more because it's a lot of the readers there. They they are. I don't see how can I put it.
They're
They seem a
they're
little bit friendly. They seem a little bit friendlier.
that's interesting that New York seems friendlier, or is it that you just feel a little bit more at home because it's New York? I don't know.
Uh, Well,
Just saying.
there's a couple people that I really connect to. One of them is over me and him and his girlfriend used to do a festival in Austin for a few years. And so and then there's a guy that's out in Yosemite, and him and have gotten tight. So that has a lot to do with where the ones in Florida, it's a couple there that's like that, but you know, hey man, it's like it's just something different with both of them, and and I guess it has to do with, and both of them have the age group is the same.
Okay.
It's just a different flavor. I can't pinpoint of why I like the one in New York better than I do the one in Florida.
Shout out to the New York vibe because I know exactly what it is. It's that up north vibe. I got you.
But then again, but see, the one in New York, they give you 5 minutes to read. Where I don't need no 5 minutes, but they give you 5 minutes to read. So if I want to read 3 poems the first round, I can, and then the second round I can read a short one. Whereas the one in um Palm Beach is 3 minutes. So if and like I said, I kind of like, and I do think I know what it is, but I'm not gonna say it right now. And when I tell you, you gonna be like, dude, you sure about that? and I'm gonna tell you what it is
Okay, I
one
can't
day.
wait. I can't wait to hear this. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then Diana gonna start back editing my next book next week, and
Okay.
so I can get it off. And matter of fact, that publisher is out of New York.
Mm, okay.
So I don't know what it is, man, but it's that's what's going on. And of course, I have my books on Amazon at Birdman 313. My YouTube channel, youtube.com/author poet Birdman 31355. Instagram Birdman 31355. Also on Spotify. I need to get them a new video. I mean, I already have 12 of them on her platform. It's Coffee, Wine, and Words Spotify channel. And I'm thinking about sending her a new video. So I mean, if anybody just want to go there, and they can see. Like I said, I have 12. So if you want to look at all 12 that in one day, fine. If you want to take a day off, look at one day, one the next week, it's fine. But
That's what's up.
check them out though, man. I think I chose some pretty good ones on Spotify for whatever reason, and that one is out. This platform is in Vegas,
Wow. Wow. All right.
so I'm all
Hmm.
around.
Yeah. Yeah. More to come too on Birdman. I got some updates for that as well. But
Yeah,
I know we got to get out of here to pay some bills. So I appreciate that. And
yeah.
I'll be talking to you soon. So
Okay.
take
All right.
care.
Yeah,
Have a
you
good
too.
night.
All right.
All right. Take care.
Yep. You too.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. That was author slash poet Birdman 313. I want to thank each and every one of y'all for tuning in. I appreciate that. And this has been a great episode, a great run so far for Disc 6 Vitality. If you heard anything that you liked tonight and it sparked some interest, please feel free to head on over to laryngaines.com. You can sign up for the free 15-minute consultation. Apply to see if you qualify for the coaching sessions. There's all types of information available at laryngaines.com, all around debt free living. I focus on debt free living from the spiritual, mental, physical, and financial. Again, all of that information is available at laryngaines.com. Check out the events page, check out the resources as well, because there's lots of valuable information there. On that note, I want to say thank you all so much for joining. Please hit that like button. Please share this podcast, share this video wherever you are listening at, whether it's Spotify, iHeart, Deezer, Audacity, Amazon Music, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, wherever you're listening from. Please use your virtual voice. Let me know exactly where you are calling from, where you're representing, what you have going on in your neck of the woods. If there's anything that you want to chime in on tonight's episode or any episodes that you've been listening in, catching up on, please feel free. Text me at 609 200 1098. Again, that number is 609 200 1098. That is the official 411 podcast, Reading Between the Wines hotline. Very special thank you to author slash poet 313. Thank you, Miss SOS. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate all of y'all out there for listening, checking us out. And we most certainly will see you when we see you. Thank you. Tune in. Stay safe. Appreciate y'all.